We're very unique. We're not like cement where there's almost 3,000 plants throughout the world. Diatomaceous earth suppliers, there's maybe 20 plants worldwide. So a lot of our equipment is unique.
Yeah.
Our processes are unique. So we're often working with equipment manufacturers to modify their equipment so it works best for our products.
Welcome to one of the most unique settings where we've ever recorded an interview. We're along the Central Coast in Lompoc, California, where we are at Imerys. We're going to be talking about mining, we're going to be talking about automation, and we're going to be talking about what this operation means to the local community. Podcast interview in a mine, open pit mine. This is a first.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it very much. Yeah, because I don't know, a lot of people don't realize that if you can't grow it, you have to mine it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that phrase. Why not right now? Because I think we're going to change some perceptions around mining as we go through this conversation. I think that's a very nice binary way of separating the way a lot of stuff comes into this world. So obviously we know growing crops and things like that, but if you're not doing it, it's got to come from somewhere. It's not magic. So you're doing all the mining right here in California too.
Exactly. Yeah. And probably one of the toughest places to mine. We're in Santa Barbara County, very strict from a regulatory standpoint, and we're in full compliance and work to be better every day.
Yeah. Let's dive into what you're mining out here as well. You call it DE, diatomite is what it is, correct? Am I saying that correctly?
Diatomaceous earth.
Diatomaceous earth, is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay, all right. How do you describe that? We're here, like you said, we're here in Santa Barbara County. Firestone Walker's not far from here. We'd be drinking 805s on a sunny day like this. How do you describe what DE is if you're having a drink with someone?
Well, if we were at Firestone drinking an 805, they would be filtering the product over our diatomite.
There you go.
So diatoms, diatomites from diatoms, single-celled fossil remains. They died in the ocean years ago, or 6.5 to 9 million years ago. And they're the one-celled fossilized remains of diatoms / algae. And
it's basically a hyperfiltration material. Would that be fair to say as well?
Absolutely. It's a natural nano.
Okay.
It has very, very tiny holes in it. A diatom itself is half the diameter of the end of a hair, of a human hair.
Okay.
So very, very small, microscopic, and has these minute small holes in it that are used for filtration of anything from water through blood.
Yeah, so let's go into that. So we were just talking about how it's used for beer. You just said it's used for blood, so we're talking medical applications. A big question I have for you is, how is the work you're doing here at Imerys saving lives?
Well, a lot of our products go into pharmaceutical products. And then I also mentioned the blood filtration, as well as during the COVID, we were also part of the vaccines that were being produced.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go into the history a little bit, right? Because this mine, this entire industrial operation has been part of this community for over a century. I believe the year that it started was 1893. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Can you give us a little background on just where it was and how it started and where it is today?
Well, it was actually started here, up here in these foothills. There used to be multiple little villages up here. There was a small hospital, and it was more horse, wagon, shovel back then. Mm-hmm. After diatomite, it was probably used in different applications then. I know one of the earlier uses was people would have a small cube of it, and it would soak it in kerosene.
Okay.
And then they could light it at night, and that would burn all night for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because even as you look in our quarry here, we're about 50% moisture. And that means we have 1 pound of water to 1 pound of diatomaceous earth.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So it has incredible holding capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a great insulator. There's a museum downtown that's built with just diatomaceous earth.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's used for lots of non-filtration applications as well.
Well, that's what I was kind of curious about, because if I think back 130 plus years, I'm like, who in the world would have realized this material that you mine from the earth has these extreme filtration capabilities? But what you're saying is the use of it has evolved over
Absolutely.
the decades.
And the use of it is still evolving
Yeah.
constantly. But, there was diatomaceous bricks,
Okay.
for example, was one of the products. I talked to you about the kerosene, little lantern pieces before, buildings, walls, insulation. Yeah, multiple uses that have continued to evolve throughout the years.
So what has this area then meant to the community? I mean, you even said this used to be its almost own self-sustaining village. The hospital was here, there were houses here, you had your own currency in this mine. Was that back in the Johns Manville days?
That was back in Johns Manville days, and it was always, it was one of the key places to work, private industry, not Air Force Base, not prison, but the largest private industry employer in the area was the facility here.
I mean, historically, what has manufacturing been like in this community? What has heavy industry meant to this community?
Well, I would think that we're probably one of the largest of that. I mean, there is some heavy industry in Santa Maria, but from a true mining, from earth all the way to finished product, that's us and only us.
Well, let's go into that a little bit more, because we've been talking purely about the mining operation so far, but you're literally taking it from start to finish. You get it out of the earth, and then you're able to provide that finished product to the different applications that
Correct.
it's going to. So how does that function in a facility like this, where you're able to go literally from start to finish in a way that I don't think many other manufacturers or industrial operations could even comprehend?
True, there's a lot of pieces to it. From the mining to, we do separation, we do drying of it, we do calcination, we do more separation. We take something that, our diatoms have a lot of organics in them, for example. They have different other minerals, maybe iron, for example, and we can actually make them very, very clean, very pure for different applications, which includes both filtration as well as regular building products, for example, into paint.
What's the rough breakdown of the applications where this goes? And it doesn't need to be exact, but rough, what are the key core industries that this goes into, or key core applications?
Well, filtration would be about 75% of it.
Okay.
And that could be from water, corn syrup, wine, beer, whiskeys, spirits, and including blood.
Yeah.
And then the other 25% is fillers. It could be used in different paints. It could be used in plastics. Is the other 25%.
Yeah. No, that's a helpful breakdown, and I'd say very fitting for the manufacturing happy hour audience listening to this, given half those applications you rattled off. Beyond the applications itself, we've been talking about the history of this place a little bit. What does this operation mean to the community here today?
Well, it means a very stable employer. We provide very good jobs. We try to be very competitive. And we also, I think we provide a great future for people. There's a lot of people that started out here packing, and at some point in their career, hopefully they're able to move up. We have a quality control lab. We have very intricate processes. We have packaging people. Maybe they'll be running a heavy-duty piece of equipment up here in the mine. We have 165-ton trucks that are unique to us that are running the mine. So you can really start out at a very entry level, and there's a very strong chance that you can move yourself up and have a very successful career.
Let's talk about your career a little bit. We were riffing about this before the interview, but you've literally spent your life in mining.
Correct. Yeah, my dad was in underground mining all of his life. I grew up out near Death Valley, and he was in underground talc mining, and every weekend he would take me to the mine with him. We'd go out and actually work and stuff. I always knew I wanted to be in the mining industry.
Let's wax poetic about mining a little bit. What is it that you love about being out here, being in the mine, the work you do, the impact it makes? What comes to mind?
Well, it's diverse.
Yeah.
You're not just doing the same thing behind a desk every day.
Mm-hmm.
You can get out, you can touch, you can feel, you can still innovate. You can make a positive change every single day at your work. And you can go out and look at the process and challenge yourself. How can I make it better?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we continue to innovate our process on a daily basis.
I'm going to ask you about those innovations here in a second, but maybe one of the other things I want to go back to first is you're painting a very different picture than what I feel comes to mind for most people around mining, right? We've talked about the career opportunities, we've talked about the safety of the operation. What does it take to change perceptions around what mining is all about, what the realities are, and then what the impact of it is?
That's a good point, because I think a lot of people think of mining as noisy, dusty, not in my backyard, where we are in people's backyards here in Lompoc. We're clean. We have a dust control management system. We do revegetation, reclamation. Lots of places where mines have been in other parts of our company. There's beautiful lakes. There could be golf courses. But mining absolutely has to be part of communities, or else everything would need to be imported.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, admittedly, when we were scouting locations to film this interview here on site, I did not think it was possible to record in the middle of an open pit mine. But you're right, this is arguably one of the quietest locations I have ever recorded an interview during my time doing a podcast. So I'm seeing firsthand some of the differences from what I might have thought mining was like before. Let's talk about the innovation in mining as well, because you've mentioned that you've only touched about 5% of this area so far with it, the minerals, the DE that's here. So what does innovation look like in sustaining a mining operation? Let's start there.
Well, we continue to work on ways to improve our recoveries, of what is mined and being able to use it and generate less waste. We also continue to work with our customers to develop products that they need, which could be for filtration or as a filler. But continued reduction in, for example, iron, lighter bulk densities, and higher and improved filtration capacities.
So not only did you talk about what sustains the operation, but also what makes it a sustainable process as well.
Correct.
Now, one other question I have is, how do you gain efficiencies in this process, right? We're out here teaming up with the Royal team as well. Automation is a way that you do it, and I think you mentioned you've gained 15 to 20% in capacity just through automation from some of our past conversations. Can you describe at a high level what that looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So Royal Wholesale has been absolutely a very good supplier to us. We buy a lot of our automation equipment from them. Variable frequency drives, burner management systems, level indicators. So we've actually been able to, through automation and better control, better sensing, watching amps on motors, adjusting speeds, looking at bin levels, speeding things up, slowing them down, measuring airflows. We've been able to greatly improve our process and our process efficiency, allowing us to produce more material.
And beyond that, one of the reasons is not simply just getting more of this out, but I think you've mentioned that one of the ways this industry has evolved, you went back to talking about how these used to be for, the blocks for kerosene lamps, but now there's more of a demand, I believe, for higher purity products as well. How do you keep up with the market in that case, right? Where, let's say I don't want to say the extremity of the application, but how pure it needs to be is driving you to continue to do this a little differently than maybe you've done before. How do you keep up with that?
Well, we definitely have a full court press on that area of continuing to automate improve and upgrade the process. You know, we have a lot of older process controllers that we recently went through and upgraded them. It's given us a lot more visibility of the process and a lot more accuracy.
Yeah.
So if you think about just a small change, at the time seems small, but if you look at it over 24 hours, it's bigger. Over a week, over a year. Small little changes in automation, integration of software, trending things on Pi. You know, at night something happens, you can come in and the next day and you can see, well, a valve didn't open right away. We lost air pressure, the belt was moving too slow, the bin went low. We have greatly improved our accuracy, ability to analyze our processes, and to better control them. And we continue to innovate and improve on that on a daily basis.
Out of curiosity, I can imagine what that looks like at like the end of your process, right? When you're taking the raw material and turning it into a finished good. What does that like real-time info look like when you're driving around out here? Because if you look around, I'm not seeing any like automation equipment like right in front of us right now. But what does that look like when someone's out in the middle of the mine?
Well, we're not very far from our crusher.
Yeah.
And which feeds our conveyors. So that's all automatically started and stopped from the loader operator. And we can measure what is on the belt, on the conveyor belts feeding into the process. And we can even control automatically what bins that goes to. As out here we have 52 different stratigraphic columns that we're mining. And we can segregate where they go and blend them into our process.
All right.
Yeah, so it's actually at the start of the process all the way through that we're using automation and control.
Well, I appreciate the specific example because anyone watching the video right now is looking, I mean, there's a nice pleasant lake behind us right now, so I had to kind of paint that picture. And you've done a really good job of describing the involvement and what this means to the community. You've been talking about automation, innovation. One area that I think we'd be remiss if we didn't get into was the safety aspect. And when you and I sat down for this interview, one of the questions we were kind of asking was like, well, do we wear the hard hats in the interview? By the way, this is the first time I've ever done an interview wearing a hard hat as well. And, you know, you said, yeah, I mean, it's safety first in this facility. And we're in the middle of a mine right now. Even if there's not work taking place around us right now, there's a message that needs to be sent that safety is always the priority. How has safety evolved within a mine like this over the years, and what does that look like today?
Well, it should be first and foremost of anything we do. We ask our employees to fully evaluate any job before they do it and start doing the job. All of our employees have the ability to stop work, to say, I don't feel comfortable. It seems unsafe. Have we checked this out? So the safety of our employees is first and foremost of everything we do. And everybody has stop work authority.
Yeah.
So we continue to enhance safety yearly, monthly, daily, and look for ways to be safer. As we want employees to, you know, go home the same way they came to work.
Yeah. And what sticks out in that answer is how you've empowered any team member to stop the operation if they need to vocalize any issues they may be feeling or seeing, right? There's not any bureaucracy that goes into that.
Absolutely not.
It really is the first priority that's on your list.
Correct.
Ken, I had a different question. That's awesome.
I even did a little.
I was about to mention that I was going to ask a different question, but there was a rocket launch that just occurred right next door because there's a U.S. Space Force base right next to here. And what we just heard was the sonic boom upon re-entry, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And this happens around here frequently.
It does, yeah.
Like twice a week or something like that? You said
About
42,
that, yeah.
42
Yeah,
launches
I think we've
a
done
year?
like 42 this year. Yeah.
What is the exact operation that's next door to you here? Out of
Well, the Air
curiosity.
Force Base, and
Okay.
then, you know, out on the Air Force Base, there's several launching services,
Okay.
United Launch Alliance, as well as SpaceX,
Yep.
and that was a SpaceX rocket that went up today.
Yep. Sending up a satellite
Yep.
right in the middle of our interview, in the middle of an open pit mine.
Yeah.
What What a day here at Made Here and Manufacturing Happy Hour. So my actual question for you then is, what does the future of mining look like in the context of Imerys, and what does that mean for the community here and just everything you have going on in this space?
Well, we're going to continue to be here for, better be 100 years plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have sufficient reserves. We have high quality reserves. We continue to innovate new products, and we're continuing to add capacity in the product lines that need extra capacity.
Has that culture of innovation always been present here, right? Where you're literally thinking, most companies are usually just thinking the next quarter ahead, right? You literally just said you're thinking 100 years ahead. Would you say that mentality is common across the operation?
I definitely think it's common in Imerys.
Yeah.
And in the diatomaceous earth area, absolutely. Where our mineral has many unique characteristics about it that I'm not sure that we have fully got all the value out of it that we can.
Sure. Yeah. If you were lighting lamps with it 100+ years ago, who knows what other applications you're going to discover
Exactly.
in the future.
Yep.
Well, it's a very cool operation you have out here. I've got a couple questions around what you wish other people might know. As far as the community goes, is there anything you wish they were more aware of around your operation out here?
Well, we absolutely try to be a good neighbor to the community. We also put back a lot into the community too. We have employee volunteer programs, as well as we do a lot from a donations standpoint. Local YMCA, the hospital, the police, open bowls. We're looking always for ways to give back to the community and be a partner in the community.
And I'm very curious to know, we've covered a lot of ground in the conversation today. We've been talking about automation. We've been discussing the realities of mining and an industrial operation like this. We've talked about sustainability. Is there anything you wish you'd get to talk about more that, it doesn't even need to be in the context of this conversation, anything you wish I would ask you related to the operation or mining in general?
Not in particular. I wish that we were doing more in our education system.
Okay.
So that young people would understand more about heavy manufacturing, heavy industry, mining, how it can coexist in a sustainable way, clean for the environment, good jobs, great careers, and definitely, an industry that's required.
Yeah.
And a good one to work in.
And this probably relates back to the last question. Is there anything you've done as part of your personal mission or the folks that you know in this area that are getting more involved to help shape education?
Well, we definitely have a very active intern program. We're part of the STEMS program, and we attend fairs out to school, etc., to try to educate young kids.
Yeah. Well, great answers here at the end. I'm going to take us behind the scenes one more time. We talked a little bit about the rocket, but funny enough, when we were originally planning to do this interview and we were showing you some of the videos from, the Made Here series in the past, you actually came across some of your own equipment in one of those videos. Am I making that up?
That's correct. Brandon from Royal Wholesale was showing us a video that had been done with Cyclone Air. And I recognized a piece of equipment that we have here that was being built at their facility.
Yeah.
And Steve, their president, was talking about their company, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I have spoke to him. We use that equipment here. We should do one of these as well.
Do you feel like you have moments, whether it's in a video like that, where you just sense the community across the industrial ecosystem like that? How do you partner with, let's say, equipment manufacturers, and how does that tie in with the future of this facility?
Well, I think diatomaceous earth probably does that more than any other mineral in the fact that we're very unique. We're not like cement where there's, almost 3,000 plants throughout the world. Diatomaceous earth suppliers, there's maybe 20 plants worldwide. So a lot of our equipment is unique. Yeah. Our processes are unique. So we're often working with equipment manufacturers to modified our equipment so it works best for our products.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I appreciate you taking us through everything today in this conversation. I appreciate you doing it in a scenario where we're probably both going to walk away from this interview with some minor sunburns and things like that here in the middle of the pit mine. But this has been a really cool experience. First ever podcast recorded in an open pit mine in the middle of a rocket launch.
Fantastic. Glad it could happen right here.
Thanks a ton, Ken.
Yeah, absolutely.